Katie Morrison stepped off the transport shuttle and onto Kepler 9 station. The metal floor felt strange under her boots. Everything around her seemed too light, too easy to move through. She knew why. The station ran at lower gravity than Earth. .7 standard, they called it. Back home, she lived at 1 full G her whole life. The Galactic Defense Academy stretched out before her in gleaming corridors. Aliens of every shape and size walked past. Some had scales, others had fur. A few glowed softly in colors she had never seen before. Katie pulled her bag higher on her shoulder and walked forward. She kept her eyes down and watched where she stepped. "Another human," someone said in the common tongue. The translator in her ear made the words clear. "They really let anyone in these days." Katie did not look up. She had heard worse during the trip here. Humans were new to the Galactic Coalition. Most species did not take them seriously yet. That was fine. She did not need them to like her. She just needed to learn. The orientation hall buzzed with noise. Hundreds of cadets gathered in groups by species. The Draven stood in one corner, tall and broad, with thick gray skin like armor. The Kryn clustered near the front, their scaled faces serious and alert. Selenites drifted near the windows, their pale forms almost glowing in the station light. Katie found a seat in the back row. She sat down and pulled out her datapad. While others talked and laughed, she read through the academy rules. She studied the training schedule. She made notes about each species she could see. "Look at that one," a deep voice rumbled. Katie glanced up. A Draven cadet pointed at her. He stood almost 7 feet tall with shoulders as wide as a door. His name badge read Zakros. The little human in the corner. Is she lost? Someone should tell her this is a military academy, not a library. His friends laughed. Other cadets turned to look. Katie felt dozens of eyes on her. She kept her face calm and returned to her datapad. Let them think what they wanted. Words did not hurt her. Commander Velthar entered the hall. The Kryn instructor moved with quick grace. His scales caught the light as he walked to the front platform. The room fell silent. "Cadets," Velthar said. His voice carried to every corner without shouting. "You come from 50 different worlds. You speak 30 different languages. But here you are all the same. You are students. You are soldiers in training. You will learn to fight. You will learn to lead. Many of you will fail. That is expected. Those who remain will defend the coalition with honor." He paused and looked across the room. His eyes stopped on Katie for a moment, then moved on. "Tomorrow morning, we begin physical trials, combat simulations, tactical exercises. I suggest you rest well tonight. You will need it." The briefing continued for another hour. Katie absorbed every word. She noted the scoring system, the ranking method, the way cadets would be evaluated. When Velthar finally dismissed them, the crowd surged toward the doors. Katie waited until most had left before standing. She made her way to the dormitory section. The halls were quieter now. Her assigned quarters were small but clean. She had it to herself. Humans were rare enough that they did not share rooms yet. She unpacked her few belongings and sat on the edge of the bed. Through the window, she could see the planet below. Kepler 9 looked peaceful from orbit, green and blue, with white clouds swirling across the surface. It reminded her a little of Earth. Later that evening, Katie went to the mess hall. The large room hummed with conversation. Different species ate different foods. The smell was strange, but not unpleasant. She got her meal from the human section and found an empty table near the back. She had barely started eating when shadows fell across her table. Zakros stood there with 3 other Draven cadets. They looked down at her with expressions somewhere between amusement and contempt. "Human," Zakros said, "I have a question. Why are your people even here? We checked the records. Your world only joined the coalition 5 years ago. You have no war history, no battle honors. Your technology is primitive. Your people are small and weak. He leaned down closer. So tell me, what use are you? Katie swallowed her food slowly. She looked up at him with calm eyes. I am here to learn. To learn? Another Draven laughed. Little human, by the time you learn how to hold a weapon properly, the rest of us will be graduating as officers. Maybe, Katie said. She took another bite of her food. Zakros frowned. He seemed annoyed that she did not react with anger or fear. You should save yourself the embarrassment and withdraw now. Go back to your tiny planet. Leave war to warriors. Katie set down her fork. She met his eyes directly. Is there anything else? I would like to finish eating. For a moment, Zakros looked angry enough to do something stupid, but other cadets were watching. Starting a fight during orientation meant immediate dismissal. He straightened up and sneered. Enjoy your meal, little human. It might be your last here. He walked away with his friends following. A Selenite cadet at the next table leaned over. Her name was Kira An. Her large eyes looked at Katie with something like pity. You should be more careful. The Draven do not forget insults. I did not insult him, Katie said quietly. I just wanted to eat. Your presence insults him, Kira An said. Her telepathic abilities let her sense emotions better than most. He thinks humans do not belong here. Many others think the same. That is fine, Katie said. She returned to her food. They can think what they want. Kira An studied her for a long moment, then turned back to her own meal. She did not understand this human. Most beings radiated emotion, fear, anger, pride, joy. The human girl showed almost nothing, just calm observation. Later that night, Katie lay in her bunk and reviewed her notes. She had recorded everything she learned about the different species. The Draven were strong and tough, but they were used to low morning came early at the academy. Katie woke before the alarm and dressed in the standard training uniform. The gray and blue suit fit well enough, though it was designed for species with different body shapes. She laced her boots tight and tied her hair back. Then she headed to the training center. The holographic combat arena took up 3 levels of the station. It could create any environment, any enemy, any challenge the instructors wanted. Katie had read about the technology. It used hard light projections backed by force fields. Everything inside felt real. Pain was dulled but still present, so cadets learned without dying. She arrived 15 minutes early. The observation deck was already filling with cadets and instructors. Below, the arena floor gleamed white and empty. Soon it would transform into whatever test they faced today. Other human cadets arrived. There were 12 in total from Earth. Katie nodded to them but did not join their group. She preferred to watch and listen. Commander Velthar entered with 3 other instructors. The crowd quieted. Velthar approached the control panel and brought up a holographic display. It showed the day's training course. Today, we establish baseline performance, Velthar announced. His voice carried through the room. Each species group will enter the arena. You will face a standard combat simulation. Obstacles, enemies, tactical challenges. Your performance will be measured and recorded. This determines your starting rank. He manipulated the display. The course appeared in detail. A maze of walls and platforms. Holographic enemies armed with training weapons. Environmental hazards like fire and water. It looked difficult, but not impossible. Draven cadets, you are first, Velthar said. Zakros led his group down to the arena floor. 6 Draven in total, all large and confident. They entered through the main door. The arena shimmered and changed. Walls rose from the floor. The simulation began. Katie watched closely. The Draven moved with power and coordination. They smashed through obstacles that would stop smaller species. Their thick skin protected them from minor impacts. When holographic enemies appeared, the Draven overwhelmed them with strength and aggression. They completed the course in 14 minutes. Good time. The crowd clapped. Zakros and his team emerged looking pleased with themselves. "Excellent work," Velthar said. He noted their scores. "Kryn cadets, you are next." The Kryn entered. They approached the course differently. Where the Draven used power, the Kryn used speed and tactics. They moved like water through the obstacles. Their scaled bodies slipped through tight spaces. They flanked the enemies and struck from multiple angles. 12 minutes. Even better. The Kryn exited with quiet satisfaction. Species after species took their turns. The Selenites struggled with the physical aspects but excelled at the tactical puzzles. A group of Vakresh, insect-like beings, completed it through teamwork and coordination. Others fell somewhere in the middle. Katie noticed patterns. Most species were adapted to lower gravity. They jumped high but landed hard. They moved fast in short bursts but tired quickly. Their reflexes were good but not exceptional. Finally, only the humans remained. Velthar looked at his list, then at the small group of Earth cadets. His expression showed doubt. "Human cadets," he said. "Your turn." Katie started toward the floor with the others. Before she reached the stairs, Zakros spoke up from the observation deck. "Commander," the Draven said loudly, "perhaps we should adjust the difficulty? It seems unfair to hold humans to the same standard as real warriors. Maybe lower it to training level for younglings?" Laughter rippled through the crowd. Katie stopped walking. She turned and looked up at Zakros. Her face remained calm. "The difficulty is fine," she said. Her voice was quiet but clear. "Is it?" Zakros grinned. "You are half my size, human. You look like a strong wind would blow you over. I do not want to see you get hurt." More laughter. Katie could see other cadets nodding in agreement. Even Kira-an looked concerned. To them, Katie seemed fragile, breakable. "Commander Velthar," Katie said, turning to the instructor. "May I request something?" Velthar's eyes narrowed. "What is your request, cadet?" "I would like to attempt the course alone," Katie said, "and I would like the difficulty increased. 2 levels above standard." The laughter stopped. Confused silence filled the observation deck. Other human cadets stared at her. Even Lieutenant Hayes, the human liaison officer, looked surprised. "Cadet Morrison," Velthar said slowly, 2 levels above standard is the difficulty we use for veteran soldiers, experienced warriors. You have never set foot in this arena before." "I understand, sir. You could be injured." "I accept that risk, sir." Velthar studied her for a long moment. Katie met his gaze steadily. She did not look away, did not show doubt or fear. "Why?" the commander finally asked. "Because I need to know what I can do," Katie said simply. "And so do you." Zakros laughed from above. "Let her try, Commander. This should be entertaining. When she fails in the first minute, at least we can move on to real training." Velthar looked at Katie again. Something in her eyes made him curious. This human did not act like someone about to fail. She acted like someone who knew something the rest of them did not. "Very well," he said. He turned to the control panel. "Cadet Morrison, you may attempt the course alone at elevated difficulty. Other human cadets, you will wait here." Katie walked down to the arena floor. Behind her, the observation deck filled with whispers and speculation. Cadets crowded to the windows for a better view. This would either be impressive or embarrassing. Either way, they wanted to watch. She stopped at the entrance. The arena stretched before her, still showing the previous configuration. Soon it would change to something harder. Commander Velthar's voice came through the speakers. "Cadet Morrison, we will adjust the arena now. Once you enter, the simulation begins. There is no time limit, but your performance will be measured. If you wish to withdraw, simply say the word." "I understand, sir," Katie said. "One more thing," Velthar added. His voice was serious. We are also adjusting gravity to Earth standard. 1 full G. The system shows this is your homeworld specification. Is this correct? Yes, sir. That is significantly higher than station normal. Are you certain you want this? Katie almost smiled. Yes, sir. I am certain. In the observation deck, cadets looked at each other in confusion. Higher gravity meant more difficulty. Everything would be heavier. Movement would be harder. Why would she request that? Kira-an pressed closer to the window. Her telepathic senses picked up something from the human girl. Not fear, not doubt, something else. Anticipation? Eagerness? That made no sense. Begin when ready, Velthar said. Katie took a deep breath. She rolled her shoulders and stretched her legs. The movements looked practiced, efficient. She closed her eyes for a moment. Then she opened them and stepped through the entrance. The arena shimmered. Walls rose. Platforms extended. The entire space transformed into a complex maze of challenges. Holographic enemies materialized, armed and ready. Environmental hazard. The first 3 seconds looked normal. Katie took 2 careful steps forward, scanning the arena layout. Her movements seemed measured, almost slow. In the observation deck, Zakros snorted. See? She can barely move under the gravity. This will be over before it starts. Then Katie exploded into motion. She sprinted forward at a speed that made several cadets gasp. Her legs pumped with power that seemed impossible from her small frame. The first obstacle was a wall 12 feet high, designed to require climbing equipment or boosted jumps in low gravity. Katie hit it at full speed. Her hands caught the top edge and she pulled herself up and over in one smooth motion. She landed on the other side in a roll and came up running without losing momentum. What was that? Someone muttered. Look at her speed, Kirahan whispered. Her telepathic senses were screaming now. The human's mind was focused like a laser, no wasted thought or doubt. 3 holographic enemies appeared around a corner. They carried training weapons set to deliver stunning force.